Yes, my people, good morning and welcome back. So, I'm just going to go over yesterday's market review. And if I'm going to be completely honest, yesterday wasn't as bad as what we made it seem to look like. So, first and foremost, if I go on my 1 hour chart, which is my higher time frame, price is clearly bullish. And how do I know that? First and foremost, the SMA were above the 200 and we are also above the 20. If you don't use your 1 hour as a higher time frame and use the 15, it is still the same thing. Price is bullish through structure, but also based off the 200 SMA, price is still bullish. So if I was to use my 50 minute, technically this is my protected low, and then this is my week high that I would like for price to run, and then this is my market structure break. So if that's the case right now, it looks like potentially price wants to pull back, tap into something on our left, and then potentially continue to make higher highs and higher lows. So we have this last down up movement. So there's always a chance that price might want to come back and mitigate this area before we start making our way back up. We also might want to fill one of these imbalances slash fair value gaps and then also make our way back up. You can also say that we have SBS model 1 like this. So there's always a chance that price might respect this area and continue to make higher highs and higher lows, because at one point it was support and now it's become resistance. So price doesn't necessarily need to mitigate anything deeper, and this could be enough for it to shoot back up. So now that I've been able to establish where we are in price, so I understand that price is bullish. However, it looks like price might be pulling back internally. So if I go down to my 5 minute and I go down to my 1 minute, this is where you're able to see that price is actually bearish internally. So externally we are bullish, internally we are bearish. So that's telling me that price is just pulling back. Price is at the stage where it wants to expand, and now we're in that stage where price wants to pull back. That's what's going on right now. So when I go to my 5 minute chart, it might not be as clear, but there's two ways where you could have seen SBS. So first and foremost, we have the bigger SBS for the overall trend, where this is my one. I use a 50 minute, where this is my one, this is my one, this is my two, this is my three. Price, look at that price is certain now, so this is my four, and potentially that is my five. So this is based off the higher time frame, and then hopefully price might now react off this area here and continue to make higher highs and higher lows. But when we go down to the 5 minute chart, technically we are internally bearish, right? Because SMA is telling me that, but also of structure, because we made we was making higher highs and higher lows, but look what happened. We took out this protected low, so now internally that's an internal flip based off internal structure. So I understand that this is a market structure flip or market structure shift, but of internal structure. So I understand that potentially, based off my SMA and based off internal structure and off the higher time frame that price is pulling back, there's always a possibility that price might want to do what? Come back and come back to mitigate something within here and continue to make lower lows and lower highs. So yeah, if I go to my 1 minute, we actually do have SBS here, where this is my one, this is my two, this is my three, and now we're just looking for something that's gonna help us take this trade lower. So when I let price play out, okay, so we've got that first sweep. So we've got that first sweep. We're still below the SMAs. obviously I'm on my 5 minute time frame, so go to my 1 minute. We had that first sweep, and I entered. So I entered here with my stop above this high, and I was aiming for 2R, and then price came as close to a 1.4R, and then I got stopped out at break even, which is happy days. Sometimes, you know, these things are going to happen, because initially it wasn't a proper flip where I tried to enter. You know, technically the flip was from here. So now, if anything, I should be waiting for, try to wait for SPS within here to take me back down. So, yeah. So that's 4, 5. So technically, this is also an internal flip. So if you wanted to, this could be a 1, this could be a 2, this could be a 3, 4, 5. And then in terms of entry, let's see if we get something. Yeah, in terms of entry, I mean, you have CSS here. We press mitigate to 50%, and then you have a sell stop over here, stop above this high, and then let's see what happens. So I mean, you do get the 1-to-1. I mean, you do get the 1-to-1. Let's see if you get the 2R. And no, so you wouldn't get the 2R, unfortunately. So you'd have probably got stopped out or caught at break even, depending on where you're trying to take profits. But a 1R did get hit. However, when we now look at the bigger picture, you could now say that this is your 4, this is your 5. Price failed to take out this low, which made this a weak high. So price swept this high. If you just let price play out, we went above the SMA. But when we look at things from the 5 minute, we can clearly see, look, this is my last up movement. That could be your CSS there. Stop above this high, 1 tick. And then that's your 2R trade done. There. You see that? Because look, this is my last up candle. This is my last up candle. We closed below it. We came back, mitigated it, and obviously sell stop. You hit your 2R there. So that could have been your trade right there. You could also say that there was a double top figure over here where price made a high, a low, a high, and then now looks like we're trying to make a low. So we respected the SMA here, and then now it looks like price is going to potentially shoot back down, and then that's what happens. And then look, number 3 has now officially been hit. So yes, it wasn't great price action overall, but as long as you followed the SMA, then there was no real problem, if I'm going to be completely honest. And even if you was waiting for the 1 minute to flip bullish, then that would have happened over here where price took out this high. Obviously you guys already know we don't always trust the first flip. Then you got your second flip over there, and even so with here, you could have still you would have still been able to capitalize in terms of this would have been your 1, this would have been your 2, this would have been your 3, this would have been your 4, this would have been your 5. Do you have I don't know if there was SMA there, but that's your 4, that's your 5. What did we do? We tapped into this area here, and then it looks like price has shot up. You can even say you had SBS model 1 over there, where price went from being resistance turning into support, and then obviously look like price was respecting 200 SMA at the time, and you could have capitalized on this in terms of, if this is your last down candle, this one here, price clearly closed above it, came back, retraced. Remember, we didn't take these lows out, and then stop below this low, and that's your 2R trade right there. Understanding that overall price was bullish, however internally it looked like price was pulling back. We had that internal flip followed by a market structure break. It looked like price was respecting 200 SMA. We had SBS, we had some things that helped us align this potential bullish trade. And if you wasn't greedy, you would have still been able to manage a 2R trade. If you used the 618, let me double check. So you don't quite get the 618 tap, but you do get a 50% tap. So you understand that price is cheap enough for you to be looking for longs, and you would have been still able to capitalize on the 2R trade, or at worst you would have caught a break even. But that's how I would have, potentially tried to take this trade. And then obviously we've gone way past our trading time now, but that's just a breakdown on how you could have potentially taken the trade. So there was an opportunity for longs and shorts. Price was bearish internally. We did flip, so you was able to capitalize on that. If you were still patient, and if you was looking at things based off the 5-minute chart, then you would have been able to understand that price was still bearish based off the SMAs and based off internal structure, and you would have still been able to capitalize also on the short. So if you was longs or you was so if you was longs or you was looking for shorts, either way, if you saw the setup and you traded the setup, then happy days. Again, today looked like a day where people would have probably said that it was tricky, but overall, how I see it is, as long as you traded the setup, you looked for the things that we always look for, then today would have been, I wouldn't say a breeze, but today would have been, you would have been able to understand what really went on today. That's it for me today. Always remember, guys, victory belongs to the most tenacious, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.